Ooh. I don't know why I didn't think about this in the first place. You know, putting the CNN broadcast live online. I forgot. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's 7 o'clock right here on BeExposedRadio.com. And I'm sure if you've been listening to this show for the past week, 2 weeks, you already know that we're following closely with the shutdown. This is day 16, and we're less than 1 day away from the default on our loans and paying our bills and everything like that. Right now on CNN.com, you can check out live TV right there on CNN TV, and check out they're actually broadcasting from the Senate floor right now, and Senator Ted Cruz, awful man, honey, awful. It's an awful man. He's actually talking live right now, telling the Senate the Senate representatives and Republicans to oppose the New Deal, which he was just saying earlier today that he wasn't going to oppose it and he was going to pass it with flying colors so we can get the government back open. These kind of talks right now are exactly what make us become volatile when it comes to our politicians and start throwing things at them, because they backtrack and they lie and they open their mouths up too soon about different things. And it's like, okay, but we was just saying that this was less than an hour ago, okay, guys, because I have been watching this since about 6:30. No, I'm sorry, I have been watching since about 5:30. Then I left and I went and got some chicken and waffles for my team. So we've been indulging on that, but we're watching CNN now, and now he's on the Senate floor. He's probably going to be talking for another hour or so. We're still waiting for the Senate to vote so we can find out if the government is going to be open up tomorrow. They are already saying that the government was going to be open, so I'm counting on it. I know you're counting on it. You want to get back to work, right? Your vacation is over, right? Let's get back to work and let's get this stuff done. There are a lot of people counting on this, right? Speaker Boehner is one of the ones that is like spearheading the House of Representatives on getting a vote done and getting it passed. He did a radio interview earlier this morning where he was quoted with saying, "We fought the good fight, we just didn't win." Now, if your leader, one of your leaders, tell you that you have not won, why are you still talking? You need to go back to the table and try to come up with a better plan, because your plan didn't work. And apparently nobody was giving in on either side until you guys caved in, because everybody is blaming you. Everybody is blaming you. I don't know how you come on the other side of this hill from what you've done. They're saying now that this shutdown has cost the economy It cost the economy $24 billion. It cost the economy $24 billion, all because of this shutdown. 16 days, $24 billion. You have got to be embarrassed about who you. Anybody that elected him has probably got their hands folded up, laying in the corner, like, "Oh my God, what is the public going to do to me? What are they going to do?" And that's how they need to be. When you hit that button and voted him into office, or anybody else that's been holding up the government that closed us down, you lucky they should put every picture up there. This person said no. This person said no. This person said no. And all their pictures. We have the right to fire them. We have the right. We should have the right anyway to fire them if they're not doing what you want them to do. Majority rules. Get them mother effers out of there immediately. There's nothing should hold you from doing that. The constituents of who you're supposed to be working for. If you're not working for me, you gotta go. If you're not doing what I tell you to do, you gotta go. This is how employers work. If I'm your employer and you work for me, my tax dollars is paying your salary, and you mean to tell me you're not doing for me, you gonna do for you? Oh, your ass is out of there. Goodbye. I already wrote the letter. The letter was already written. All I had to do was sign my name at the bottom and request you sign yours. You don't have to sign your name, because it's called a pink slip for a reason. You were already terminated. That's why we drew this up. Get your ass out of here. Goodbye. All right, I got more. The shutdown is going on. We're listening to CNN.com right now, waiting for the results on these people when they poll. They're voting against this bill that has been introduced to the Senate and has been introduced to the House of Representatives. It's BeExposedRadio.com, everybody. Got a long night. Let's Talk is up at 8 p.m. We'll be back.
It's time for a flashback
to the lawn party.
You're in the wrong place because I don't live in the hood. That's not me. You talk about the projects, and I'm not even from there.
Ain't nothing wrong with the project.
I'm not from there.
Your president came from the projects,
and look where we at.
Whoa! Back up. I take. Hey, whoa! Stop. Freeze. That's an insult to me. Damn it. That's an insult to me. That's an insult to me.
You can't take the streets everywhere you go.
But guess what? You know what? Sometimes the damn streets do come in handy. I can throw on my damn suit, put on my suspenders, put on my white socks and shoes, and act like them. But damn it, when they step out line, suspenders coming off,
and that might be the
my
problem.
pants gonna drop down to my drop.
He didn't pull the streets out yet.
Hey.
He didn't pull them out and put them on display. He's still trying to play in their game.
Once this is all over,
but see, he
step on that helicopter.
It's not too much he can do. But I told you, December 1st.
We already said December
31st. That's his time to shine.
That's right.
You better come out there.
You know what? Y'all kiss me.
Walk up to the podium with a robe on.
It's some flip flops. And go back to smoking his damn cigarettes.
And when they take that picture for his 44th, when he becomes,
there you go,
and they put him on a little thing around the White House, and his as the 44th president, he better have a cigar and his robe on with a white tee.
Check out Let's Talk each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
I'm starting to think you hate that. On BeExposedRadio.com. Welcome back to the show, everybody. 7-Eleven right here on BeExposedRadio.com. We are in the middle of talking about this, the shutdown, day 16, and the debt ceiling deadline, which is what? According to this clock that I have on my computer, 4 hours, 48 minutes, and 40 seconds away. Okay, look, now we're talking to, CNN has a bunch of senators on, and they're talking about this situation where this vote is getting ready to come down that will actually reopen the government. We're looking at the Senate floor, and then it's going to go to the House of Representatives, who then will have their chance to vote on this 30 to 40 page bill that has been presented to the government that everybody is hoping that will be passed. But, until, even Speaker Boehner is saying pass it. Even Speaker, the president is like, okay, go. The Senate is saying go. But, everybody is an individual and they all have a vote. So once they do their vote thing, they're not going to do it. But you got to realize, too, that this is not about the constituents anymore. Okay, because like I said, everybody in in Congress has a vote. If they like it or not, if they like it or they don't like it, they're going to do what they want to do. You see what I'm saying? It's all about people's, what they want, not about what the people want. Because you're not working for the middle class, because you're not hearing us. You would have heard if that was the case, you would have heard us on the day one of the shutdown, and this would have only been going on for one day, and the government would have been open the next day. If you would have been listening to us, vote.gov, let's bring it on. I'm campaigning for it. If you didn't listen to the show yesterday, I'm starting to campaign for vote.gov. I want vote.gov to be initiated, and we don't have to leave our beds. I know I know Michelle Obama, she's going to be like, oh, you're so lazy. We talking about get the kids moving. But that's not the point. The point is we need to have fast outcomes to these kind of debates. We need to have fast outcomes. It shouldn't be any kind of debate. The people rule. If you're in office to work for the people, let us vote on the situation. Then you represent us when you go head to head with our bullet points. But we don't need you to sugarcoat anything for us. We don't need you to go back into the House floor, the Senate floor, and then talk amongst yourselves about problems that face us. The people. Because I don't need you to speak for me. I do enough damn talking right here, and I can have my voice heard any way possible. It's going to be heard. Believe me, I'm not a quiet person, and nor am I shy. I wish I just want to be a guest on either the Senate or the House. But I'm going to have to ask them to turn the cameras off because my speech is going to be full of cussing. It's not going to be respectful. The respect is out the window at this point. When I heard that, look, I'm sorry, I'm screaming. I'm so passionate about this. This has been going on for 16 days, and I had my nose in it 16 days, 24 hours a day. I'm very passionate about this. I'm kind of pissed off because of it. But I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen because it's too. The government is divided. I knew it was going to happen. The government is divided. The House is Republicans. Republican ran. The Senate is Democrat ran. And then we have a Democrat president. So, of course, the Democrats are going to come together. And then we're going to have on the opposite side the Republicans. So nothing was ever going to get done, which is why since 2011, we haven't had a passed budget. Where did they do that at? In companies, when you're in your corporate office, you cannot operate without a passed budget. I know we're talking about 200 million people or whatever. We got to pass the budget for all of this stuff. But that's what the computers are for. We got to use technology whenever possible. We're in the day. Come on. Get yourself together. Put your glasses on. Go in the bathroom then. Take care of yourself. I'm trying to operate a radio show here. All right, look, we got to take another break. When we come back, there's more. We got a long night. We're here to 9 o'clock. We got the Let's Talk show at 8 p.m. right here on BigExposedRadio.com. Don't go nowhere.
How funny as hell on Let's Talk. Remember this?
The number is 1-855-835-5857 at extension 1, or you can text to 443-462-9500. No.
That's not the right number. You said that's not the right number.
Okay.
Are you dyslexic?
You can't transpose those numbers.
Excuse me?
Did he transpose them?
You can't transpose those numbers like that.
You can't. You transposed them.
No, you did.
I didn't write it.
That says 0 or 13.
It don't say 462. It says 642.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
You can't transpose.
I do apologize.
It's what's in the cup, y'all. It's what's in the cup.
642. What's that?
9403.
9403. I do apologize. I do apologize. Wow. What you laughing at?
Because you trying to get me in trouble.
No, I'm not.
You are.
You gave it to me. There you go.
Thank you, Denard.
So what you got to say today?
Check it out every Wednesday at 8 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
It's so funny, though. Me and Nora, the producer, is in here talking, right? I'm producer. She's sitting over there rubbing her damn eyes. We were in here. I was in here talking with her about what was I just talking about? Oh, hopefully that you guys that are on furlough and have been off during the shutdown have taken my advice and gotten out of town, went and did something fun, go to the Grand Canyon, which is closed, or do something like go to the Statue of Liberty, which is closed, or go to the Washington Zoo, which is closed, go to one of the veteran memorials, which is closed. You know, you could have did some things other than just sit and wait for your job to open back up. You know, when the government opened back up, you're supposed to get out and do some things. I hope you realize that they spent $24 billion for the shutdown. And as well, on top of that, they still have to pay you. So if you sat home for 16 days and didn't make the best of this paid vacation, I feel sorry for you. Because there's no need for you to worry. It was no need for you to worry. I mean, because if you understood that, you would have looked up the meaning of furlough, which was meant from, I don't know the definition right off of hand, but I know it's a guy, that's somebody's last name, of furlough, and that's where it was adapted from. And that even when you're on furlough, you can go get unemployment. Unemployment is there to last for 6 months, and then federal unemployment kicks in when at I don't know how that works in DC because is it automatically federal unemployment, and do you get it automatically for 9 months? Like here in Maryland, you get Maryland unemployment for 6 months, and then federal unemployment when you ask for the extension for another 3. So that's 9 months total, sometimes a year. I don't know how that works, but it's so funny that the shutdown has brought up so many different things. Like in North Carolina, welfare. They cut off their welfare, and they blamed it on the shutdown instead of subsidizing and getting reimbursed. Subsidizing the shutdown and paying these people their welfare benefits. It was like $215 that they get paid a month. They cut off their welfare, and instead of, like I said, subsidizing and getting reimbursed from the government at the end of the shutdown, which would have been tomorrow or today, whenever this vote happens here in the Senate and in the House of Representatives. Residents say that the state has $600 million in a rainy day fund that they could have used to subsidize this. One of the residents there was like, you got $600 million to use on a rainy day. It's raining. It's raining shutdowns. So you could have used that for that. Like I said, it was $215 a month that they could have used the $600 million to subsidize them for 1 month. It didn't have to be more than 1 month. The government would have gave you this money back. But that goes to show if they would have did this, that's another thing that they had to pay because of the shutdown. Because now they have to subsidize these states. These states are probably going to want interest on top of that money that you paid, that they paid on your behalf. You're the government. You're the Congress that is supposed to be, appropriating funds for these programs. All of this over Obamacare, mind you. They still want to call it Obamacare. I wish they would Obama need to get his name off of it. First of all, if it was me as the president, I know it sounded good and you adapted it and you just went along with it. First of all, I brought the law up, but I didn't vote this law into law. Everybody had their hands in this. You could call this Boehner care. We can call it Boehner care. We can call it McCain care. We can call it Sarah Palin care. I don't care who you call it care, but you're going to have to get my name up off of it. I'm the president of the free world. I'm not the president of Obamacare. Y'all help me do this. Because remember, when we was doing this and we was setting up this plan, everybody had something they wanted to add to this plan. And now that this plan is complete and being initiated, you got problems with it. The rollout is not what you expected. Okay, it's day 16. Get your life. Okay? Right? This is what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I went on to... I'm not going to call it Obamacare. I went on to the Affordable Care Act today, the Maryland Exchange, and I would have a valid concern for being upset. The plans that I saw in my salary bracket and the plans that I saw in my salary bracket last week versus the plans that I saw in my salary bracket for today were totally different. Totally different. There was like a 100% increase in my plan. Like I told you last week, I was in a range of $137 to $400. Ouch. This week, I was in the range of $200 to $400. The lowest plan being $212, which is fine. I'm sorry, I dropped some stuff on the floor. Thank you. Which is fine, and then when you think about it, but you have to look at the plans. You got to be smart enough to be able to read your plans. You can't just choose any kind of plan. I didn't check it out because I didn't know if I didn't have my current plan and my current health care system that match, to compare it to one another. So once I get a chance to do that, I'll let you know in full detail if I would go to Obamacare or stay with this. But see, the thing is, a lot of people that are looking at these plans are like, okay, is this better than my insurance, my current insurance? But then you got to think about it. The small businesses have not been able to enter this program yet. This is just for the individuals. Small businesses get to come in on January 1st, 2014. Once they get into this plan, the pool is going to change again. Because, say for instance, my job is, we got relatively, 5 employees. 5 employees would mean we can go into the small business plan. At that point, the prices might change. We're bringing a group on board. You see what I'm saying? They might reduce again. Because the more people that get into the plans, the more people that purchase something, the less the price is going to be, because the less they have to subsidize. All right, we got to take another break, though. We're coming back. I got more. It's the Shutdown Show. No, it's Talk Lately, everybody. We'll be back. BeExposedRadio.com.
How about that woman who bit into a finger at Wendy's? Well, this is good for our diets, though. Do you understand? Let's make lemons into lemonade. While this is a terrible thing, one less place to eat. When you get fat thoughts, pretty soon all these places are just going to, between the hawk in the Chinese food and the fingers in the Wendy's.
A human finger?
Well, hold on. I'm going to do the story, and I don't need to read it in this just-in fashion. Here, come on, let's go. A woman's meal at a Wendy's restaurant in San Jose, California. As far as I'm concerned, it was right next door. You know, finger in one, finger in all of them. That's how I go. In my mind. It helps me with the fat thoughts, you know what I mean? A woman's meal at Wendy's restaurant brought a whole new meaning to the term finger food. The woman bit into a portion of a human finger while eating a bowl of chili Tuesday night at Wendy's. Health officials said. That was in San Jose, California. The woman, who asked officials not to identify her immediately, spit out the finger and warned the other diners to stop eating. Initially, she did put this object in her mouth and did bite down on it and wasn't sure exactly what it was. She's doing okay, say the people at the Santa Clara Health office. Initially, she was a bit grossed out.
Not bad.
She vomited a number of times.
Oh, what happened? Cool.
Dr. Martin Finsterherg from the health office said that the finger had been cooked at a high enough temperature to kill any viruses. Who cares? That's what they're concerned about. Officials said that the finger was approximately 1 3/8 inches long.
It was an edible finger.
Well, it was up to the first knuckle.
Oh!
The panic button.
There you go.
She ate a panic button chili bowl. That's the panic button. Who knows where that first part of the finger has been? Do you know the panic button? You know what that is, ladies. That's when he's hammering you a little too long and you're ready to just go watch Desperate Housewives. How am I going to end this? He doesn't look like he's anywhere near ending. You take your finger and you put it back there and you push it up to the first knuckle.
Put that where?
Back there.
Put that where?
Back there. And the first knuckle, and you just wiggle it a little bit.
A little bit.
The panic button, he will explode.
Like a super soaker.
Like a super soaker, and then you go wash off and watch Desperate Housewives. Or leave for work or whatever it was. Without the panic button, we'd be late for everything. Anyway. Initially, excuse me, I was describing the finger. 1 3/8 inches long, and a 1/2 inch piece of fingernail was also found. They believed it belonged to a woman because the nail was long and it was manicured. Health investigators seized all the ingredients. What does gay have to do with the chili?
It could have been a gay guy.
All right, I'll go with that. You're right. You just try to figure out gay in anything. They believe the finger got into the chili in the early stages of making it. They have no evidence that it's an employee. Who cares? As far as I'm concerned, all chili at that place now has fingers in it. All chili everywhere has fingers. And I love chili. But you want to know what? It's not good for us. So there, that's an instant diet. That's one thing totally scratched off my menu. You ever eat the chili at BBQ? The cornbread is sick over there. The cornbread and the chili and stuff. But you know what?
No more chili.
No more chili, period. Nope. I'm debating on chilies. just because it says, yeah, it's guilt by association.
We are funny as hell on Let's Talk. Remember this?
And see, I think that's part of the problem, too, that there is no conversation. There is no dialogue.
It's just an assumption that because it's 2013, that's the way things are done, and I don't agree with that.
But this was happening,
which is another reason why I'm probably single.
Before 2013, this has been going on since the dawn of time. This is not something that has just been invented.
I'm not saying that it has been invented, Denard. I'm just talking about general life principles. And that should be one that should be implemented. So do you think that has become too important now as far as when two people trying to get to know each other, that's like the first thing? What, did you talk about sleeping with somebody? Yeah. Wait a minute. No, I'm saying, do you think that has become too important initially? No, I'm not saying. No, I'm saying initially. When you initially meet someone, do you think that has become too much of the initial conversation? Oh, well, girl, you look nice. Because it's like you said, it's a physical attraction. Right. No one, they see the female, or the female sees the guy, like, oh my God, he's so fine, and he sees her, she fat as I don't know what. Well, I'm trying to hit that, and so. Did you say that again? What? I'm trying to hit that? Yeah. What do you want me to say it again for? Because it just didn't sound right coming out your mouth. But I'm just saying, look, whatever. I'm just saying that's how the conversation goes. I hang around guys, so I know exactly how they talk.
Check it out every Wednesday at 8 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the show. It is now 7:42 right here on BeExposedRadio.com. We are in the middle of the worst. Well, it's not the worst because the recession just ended a few months ago, but this is coming very, very close to being just as horrible. Well, no, this is just as horrible. This one actually put federal employees out of work. The recession did not. Not everybody. Not like this mass majority of people like this. I'm so disgusted with the people that run our country. I'm just so disgusted. These old men and women, y'all not, I like that you guys are trying to come up with a plan, but you are also leaders of this country as well. I mean, when things fail, you got to take some of the blame on your shoulders as well. It's interesting. You can text me here, 443-642-9403 with comments and questions as we're dealing with day 16 of the government shutdown and the debt ceiling deadline, which is in 4 hours, 17 minutes, and 2 seconds. Right here on BeExposedRadio.com. $24 billion is what the problem that, every time I say it, my eyes jump a little bit like what? Oh my gosh, that's enough money to run a small country. If you think about it, a small country can be ran with Hawaii. Let's just say, take Hawaii. Hawaii can be ran with that money, and then turn that and flip that money and turn it into something else. I just don't understand how all these people that became millions and billionaires. I think. I'm almost like, why doesn't the government have buying power into the economy? I don't know how it works, though, because I'm not that driven into this political thing. I will find out, though, because this is going to be my sole mission in life now, because I've been enjoying talking about this stuff for the past 3 weeks. Since October 1st, I started talking politics, and I'm not that kind of person, because I think I break my politics down into layman terms. Anybody that doesn't understand what the political message is that somebody is trying to come across with, I'll break it down to you and tell you how I was doing you wrong. That's what my mission is in this political game. Like, I understand a lot of politics. I do understand, and I get the point of view when they're trying to make it. But if it doesn't reflect good on the human person, on the people, and who they were elected to fight for, is when I'm going to speak up. Is when I'm going to start giving you information and making sure you know what's going on. Like, you don't know what's going on. I don't know. I cannot tell you what state Ted Cruz is from, but he's a horrible person. He is a horrible person. I don't like him at all. I was just telling Nora here that his face makes me mad. It does. It pisses me off. It looks like every time he talks, his top lip gets sucked in, and then when his top lip gets sucked in, his nose gets sucked in. It looks like he's sucking a dick. I swear it does. It does, and like his nose. Oh, I can't stand him. And we was also talking about the fact that he. No, I'm not gonna go there. That's just too far. Here, I'll do it. Oh, damn. I gotta go to break. When we come back, it's more. It's BeExposedRadio.com, everybody. And you're listening to the Talk Lately Show. We're here Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 8 p.m. right here on this station. Up at 8 o'clock is Let's Talk with Denard and his new co-host, Donnie. And then we got tomorrow night, me again at 7 o'clock. We got another full 2 hours of this kind of talk. And then we have the oh gosh, what's it called? Oh my gosh, I'm a brain fart. The Lady O Show at 8 p.m. and she has a pastor coming on. I don't know what they're going to talk about. I'm going to take off from that night.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you missed this on Talk Lately.
Oh, I wonder because I'm going to pick up the copy of this, the Cosmo. The phone call, here's what she said. The phone call this April ended the mystery. He left a message on Sunday saying, I have something important to talk about. Please call me back. I was working and called the next morning. He uttered an eerily familiar phrase, you may want to sit down. Then he said, Carolyn, I'm gay. She says, I was stunned. I managed to say after a silent moment and then a deep breath, I had no idea. I'm sure a huge weight is off your shoulders. During all those years I had known him, I never would have guessed that he would come out as gay. We talked again briefly that night. He answered a few questions. You know what those questions was? Are you a bottom? That was uncalled for. Sorry. 7 foot bottom.
All new Talk Latelys every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. It's now 7:53 right here on BeExposedRadio.com. You're listening to the Talk Lately Show. We are here with you. Oh, this is the last break in the show. Up next is Let's Talk with Denard and his new co-host, Donnie. They're going to be taking over where I leave off, I guess. But I'm sure they got a lot of interesting things to talk about in the next break. 7:53. So right now, during we're still listening to CNN.com, and they're still doing the vote to end the shutdown tonight. Hopefully, like I said, and the debt ceiling clock is at 4 hours, 7 minutes, and 4 seconds. This is day 16 of the shutdown, and hopefully everybody will be returning to work tomorrow. But if you don't, continue to enjoy your vacation because it's worth it. You deserve it. You may not have wanted it, but like I said, hopefully that all of you took advantage of this furlough. If it ends tonight, you go back to work tomorrow. And if you've been sitting around all day long doing nothing and just waiting to find out if you were going to go back to work, you just wasted time out of your life. Although, with this whole entire furlough situation, like I said in the beginning of the show, $24 billion for 16 days is what this has cost the economy. Although the stock market is not reflecting it right now, the Dow Jones was up 200 points today, ending at 15,373 points. Yes, that's exactly right. But North Carolina, you can't even take any credit for that because you didn't pay out any welfare this month. So how did it work out? $215 a month is all you had to pay for roughly, what? How many people live in North Carolina? 10? Somebody wants to live there. Dirt roads and all. And again, I like what Speaker Boehner said today. He said, we fought the good fight, but we just didn't win. That just sums it all up right there. That sums it all up right there, that this was a stupid act that you knew you were not going to get through. Ted Cruz is still was in Senate just about 15 minutes ago trying to still plead his case about trying to repeal Obamacare. No one was listening. The room was actually empty. The only thing he was talking to was the cameras because nobody was in there. They left. I'm not listening to this bullshit over and over again. I'm not going to do that. No one wants to hear you, Ted Cruz. I don't know who voted you in office, but no one wants to hear what you have to say. It's sad. You just continuously talk to dead ears. You make a good political commentator. I think that's what they need to do. Fire you from off the Senate and put you on TV, but maybe put you on CNN. Let you do what this lady right here is doing, talking a lot. Because that's what you do. You run your mouth, and then nothing comes of it. No one wants to get on your bandwagon. If they put you on the ballot for office in 2016, I think I might have to leave. I just might have to leave. All right, everybody. Up next, though, I thank you for listening tonight. We'll be here with you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com. And then right after tomorrow at 8 p.m. is an all-new Lady O show with a pastor. I wish I could remember his name at this moment, but it's so many pastors and so many churches. I just can't put them all into one list. So we're going to go, and right up next is Let's Talk right here on Be Exposed Radio. Thank you.